What if I told you that the most important skill when it comes to healing burnout, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions is one that most of us were never taught? My name's Dr. Katie, and today I want to talk to you about body literacy. This is a skill that I discovered during my healing journey that has revolutionized the way that I build my life and respond to my body. I spent the first 30 years of my life chronically disconnected from my body. At best, I thought my body was just this meat suit that I carried around day to day with me. And at worst, I felt like my body was actually actively working against me and making life harder. Over time and throughout the course of my healing journey, I began to realize that really my body was always sending me signals and information. Every thought, every emotion, every physical sensation that I had was a way that my body was trying to tell me something. I still remember the moment that I actually felt my feelings for the first time. For 30 years, I had no clue that emotions were meant to come with physical sensations. They never had for me. That's how disconnected I was. For me, emotions and feelings were purely a mental experience. And so the first time that I actually felt sadness, felt anger, felt fear, it was really overwhelming, don't get me wrong, but it was mind-blowing. It was like, wait a second, that's what all of these sensations have been? And it really started to open my eyes, especially around some of the conditions that I'd been struggling with. Not just depression, anxiety, panic attacks, but also my chronic low back pain, chronic neck pain, migraines, just general tension. All of that started to become more and more clear as I started to witness those sensations as communication from my body rather than signs that something was wrong. But the truth is, we're not taught to relate to our bodies in this way. We're taught that pain means damage. We're taught that if something feels off, then something is wrong physically, and that's not always the case. And as I started to get more and more curious about the sensations that my body was giving me and what they might mean in my life, I started to recognize patterns. I noticed sensations that indicated when I felt safe, that indicated what I was needing in that moment, indicated what I was feeling and what that experience meant to me. I realized that at any given moment, whatever the issue was I was facing, whatever the question was I was battling, tuning into my body often gave me information that I didn't even know that I needed. That process led me to start asking more questions, and I realized that my body was never working against me. My body was always trying to help me, trying to communicate with me. I realized my body was this incredible resource of information that I could use to build the life of my dreams, to create something that truly aligned with who I am and lit me up inside. And on that note as well, I could use my body to avoid the things that did not feel aligned, that did not light me up. And I was missing out on all of that before I learned how to hear what it was that my body was saying. That's where body literacy comes in. Body literacy is a skill that I developed over time throughout my healing journey that allowed me to experience, understand, and respond to the signals that my body was giving. This is a framework of thinking, of behaving, that allows you to respond to the signals from your body with more care, compassion, curiosity in order to build a life that's truly centered around self-leadership and self-understanding. Until I learned body literacy, it's like me and my body were two strangers that spoke completely different languages. The problem is that modern society doesn't just not teach us body literacy, but it actively teaches us to ignore what it is that our bodies are saying. As children, we're so often taught to ignore our needs, to push through our feelings, to be careful not to make other people uncomfortable, to keep the peace, to follow the rules. And all of that slowly erodes our relationship with our own body, and it erodes our ability to experience what it is that our body is telling us that we need. Without that skill, we cannot build a life that truly supports us. We start to learn the language of everybody else's expectations, but we become strangers to ourselves and our own bodies. So if you feel lost in your life, like you don't even know what to do to support yourself, like you don't know where to turn or what you need, that makes sense. because of the way we are raised in this country, in this modern day society, that makes sense. And the good news is that body literacy is a skill that can be learned by anybody. I believe that because I know how numb to my own body I was when I first started my healing journey, and I am not that way anymore. And if I can learn this skill, then so can you. When we learn body literacy, pain becomes information, emotions become guidance, boundaries get clearer, we start to trust ourselves, and we truly build a relationship with who we are from the inside out and build our lives around that. I'm going to be sharing a lot more about body literacy moving forward, and if you want to learn more, if this resonates with you, follow along. If this really resonates with you and you want more, I'll link down below to my free masterclass and my self-paced pain explained course where I dive into it deeper. Check that out. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this, how this resonates, and make sure that you like the video and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of these amazing conversations. Sending you all so much love and can't wait to chat more. See you in the next video.